Look up the word crazy in the dictionary and you might just find an asterisk beside the definition that says, listen to the Subiquitous podcast featuring Sue Duffield and you'll find out what crazy means. Sue's travelogue journey of unfiltered stories, impossible miracles, and faith-filled fun will be revisited right here. So buckle up and let's get going with this humorous travelogue of an unfiltered saint, Subiquitous.
Merry Christmas right from the top. This is Christmas week 2022. And we thought today, in fact, I'll give Jeff Duffield the credit for this. He's in the other room, I'm in the closet, and he is playing that beautiful, beautiful sound behind us live as we're doing it. And so today I'm going to read to you one of my favorite Christmas books. Going back, oh my goodness, to 2001 when I first received it as a gift in a gift basket, and then somehow, someway, it's packed away in the garage. But I found it online. It's called Santa's Greatest Gift: The Truth About Santa's Identity Wrapped in the Spiritual Meaning of Christmas. And it was published by Bright Treasures and Smashwords, and copyright is 2001 by Rebecca Gittrich Whitecotton. My dear child, it's your old friend Santa here, and I think I'm more excited tonight than I've ever been. And guess what? You are the reason I'm so excited. This Christmas, it is my honor to help you unwrap the most incredible gift anyone could ever give you. I've been watching you grow up since you were just a little baby, and I can see that you are now old enough to understand and accept this most precious gift. But before I tell you what it is, I want to clear up some rumors you may have heard about me. Some kids may have told you that I'm not real. They may have told you that I don't really live at the North Pole, and that I don't really have reindeer that can fly. I'm more make-believe than anything. I write to you now to explain these rumors and to let you in on a most amazing secret. I am real. I am as real as your mother or father or grandmother are real. I'm as real as the person who loves you enough to give you gifts every single Christmas in my name. It's true that I'm not only one person who lives at the North Pole. I know you thought that was pretty amazing, but the truth is really better than that. I am one spirit, the giving spirit, who lives in everyone who chooses to be Santa Claus for someone they love. The miraculous thing is that so many people everywhere love children so much that they want them to experience the awe and wonder of Santa Claus. And as your own personal Santa Claus, I spend countless hours thinking about you and filling your stocking with the things you enjoy. I don't do this so you will think I'm wonderful for giving you such good things. I do this in secret so you can understand the giving spirit which is in the heart of everyone who is Santa Claus. So what about the reindeer and the elves? Well, the reindeer and elves are just part of the story, but they were real as long as you believed in them. They will not be real to you now because you have been told they don't exist. This helps you learn another lesson about the world, that what you believe is real for you. If you believe that the world is scary and bad, you will find something to scare you everywhere. But if you believe there is love and goodness in the world, then you will be able to find it abundantly when faced with hardship. Now that you know who I really am, I want to give you your greatest gift. Really, it's not a gift to be given, but a gift to be revealed or uncovered, because it's always been with you. I want you to know who you really are, because that is what Christmas is all about. Long, long ago, there was a child born in Bethlehem, and his name was Jesus. He lived a life so perfect and pure that now people work to follow his example and be just like him. The stories in the Bible about the life of Jesus tell of a man who showed love and kindness to everyone, even if they were his enemies. He was compassionate and understanding, and by sharing his wisdom, Jesus was able to help people understand how to be closer to God. Just as important, Jesus was willing to forgive others for their mistakes and hurtful actions, even when other people were going to kill him. How could someone be so good all the time, you might ask? Well, even though Jesus was a human being just like you, he always felt connected to God. His power and love came from Christ, the Spirit, which is a part of God that lived inside Jesus all the time. Jesus knew he had the Christ Spirit within him, and he listened with his heart to the Spirit every minute of every day. Because of this, everything Jesus did was guided by God and filled with love. This guidance from God allowed Jesus to do many amazing things. People called them miracles because they didn't believe they could happen. Jesus turned water into wine and fed 5,000 people with 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish. He even made a blind man see and brought life back to a girl whose body had died. People said these things could not be real, but Jesus believed that he could do them, and they were real. The best part is that Jesus told us that we would be able to do the very same thing if we had the very same faith. In the Bible, Jesus says in John 14, verse 12, "He who believes in me will also do the works that I do, and greater works than these will he do." So my gift to you this year is the knowledge that you will have the Christ Spirit within you. This is who you really are. You're not Jesus, but you have your own shining light of Christ, which can be every bit as powerful. If you look inside yourself and inside every person you meet, you will find that Christ Spirit. It shines in you when your heart is full of love and peace and forgiveness. The Spirit is part of the same Christ Spirit that was in Jesus, and the only difference is that Jesus lived every moment of his life connected to that Spirit, and we often forget who we really are. Jesus was so in touch with Christ's Spirit inside himself that every thought and every action started there. We, on the other hand, sometimes get glimpses of our Christ Spirit because we are distracted with other things or too busy thinking about our daily activities. But the Spirit inside you is part of the same Spirit that was inside Jesus, and your potential is the same as well. You can do whatever you want to do with this gift. It has been with you since you were born. It will always be yours. No one can ever take it away from you, even if you forget that you have it. I encourage you to seek the Christ Spirit within yourself through prayer and quiet meditation or listening. And if you ask and listen, the Spirit inside you will guide you through even the hardest parts of your life. There is no greater treasure than to know that God is a part of you and with you always. You may wonder why this knowledge is my gift to give. Well, many people believe that I, Santa Claus, take away from the real meaning of Christmas. They say Santa is simply built on material things and greediness, which goes against the teachings of Jesus. But Santa Claus is not really about toys as much as about the spirit of giving in secret. It's about giving for the simplest reason of seeing joy and happiness on a child's face, with no expectation of something in return. And in my purest form, Santa Claus is the perfect example of the giving spirit, just as Jesus was the perfect example of the Christ Spirit. Since you were born, I have known that you have this precious gift of God inside you. In fact, the gifts that I have been bringing you over the years were to honor the Christ Spirit in you. And you probably remember that the story of Jesus' birth tells of wise men who traveled from afar to honor Jesus, the Christ child, with gifts. In the same way, I come from afar to honor the Christ child in you. And that's why the knowledge of what is inside you is my greatest gift. When you first found out about me with my flying reindeer and ability to bring toys to every child in the world, you were in awe. You were amazed more at the whole idea of a man in a red suit bringing you toys than you were with the toys themselves. You were surprised that a perfect stranger could know exactly what you wanted and bring it to you down the chimney. But as the years wore on, you began to associate me more with toys and not so much with the wonder and magic. And that's why it's time that you know the greater truth about me and about yourself. That is why it is now time for you to be Santa, to be that giving spirit. You can choose to be Santa Claus on Christmas for your parents or for someone you know that needs something you can offer. Or you can show your giving spirit every day in many different kinds of ways by giving someone a smile, carrying groceries for your mom, or holding open a door, or helping someone with no expectation of reward, or simply telling someone just how much you love them. It is through these daily acts of giving that the Christ spirit within you begins to shine, and your life will be forever richer. So of all the gifts I have ever given, this special knowledge is my favorite because it holds such great potential. People all over the world have recognized within themselves the giving spirit, and they show it through their acts as Santa Claus. Just imagine what will happen when those same people also recognize their own Christ spirit and live from that as well. It is then that we will find heaven on earth, with love and honor for the Christ spirit that's within you, Santa Claus. During those days, the Roman Emperor Caesar Augustus ordered that the first census be taken throughout his empire. Everyone had to travel to the hometown of their family to complete the mandatory census. So Joseph and his wife Mary left Nazareth, a village in Galilee, and journeyed to their hometown in Judea, to the village of Bethlehem, King David's ancient home. They were required to register there since they were both direct descendants of David. Mary was pregnant and nearly ready to give birth. When they arrived in Bethlehem, Mary went into labor, and there she gave birth to her firstborn son. She wrapped the newborn baby in strips of cloth, and Mary and Joseph laid him in a feeding trough, since there was no available space in any upper room in the village. That night, in a field near Bethlehem, shepherds were watching over their flocks. Suddenly, an angel of the Lord appeared in radiant splendor before them, lighting up the field with the blazing of the glory of God, and the shepherds were terrified. But the angel reassured them, saying, "Don't be afraid, for I have come to bring you good news, the most joyous news the world has ever heard, and it is for everyone everywhere. For today in Bethlehem, a rescuer was born for you. He is the Lord Yahweh, the Messiah. You will recognize him by this miraculous sign. You will find a baby wrapped in strips of cloth and lying in the feeding trough." Then all at once, in the night sky, a vast number of glorious angels appeared, and the very armies of heaven. They praised God, singing, "Glory to God in the highest realms of heaven, for there is peace and good hope given to the sons of men." And when the choir of angels disappeared and returned to heaven, the shepherds said to one another, "Let's go. Let's hurry and find this Word who is born in Bethlehem and see for ourselves what the Lord has revealed to us." So they hurried off and found their way to Mary and Joseph, and there was the baby lying in a feeding trough. Upon seeing this miraculous sign, the shepherds recounted what had just happened. Everyone who heard the shepherd's story was astonished by what they were told. But Mary treasured all these things in her heart and often pondered what they meant. And the shepherds returned to their flock, ecstatic over what had happened, and they praised God and glorified him for all they had heard and seen for themselves, just like the angel had said. Luke chapter 2, the Passion Translation. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from the Duffields. We love you very much.